So hi guys, how are you doing? First of all, let me welcome you guys again to the JEE English channel. This, as you know, is a brand new channel by Unacademy where every concept of physics, chemistry, and maths are being taught to you completely in English. And Unacademy, which is India's largest online learning platform for ITJEE, has brought you this opportunity to, now learn without the barrier of any language. Okay. So today, this session was originally supposed to be for problem discussion for the JEE Combat, Unacademy Combat that happened earlier. Now we also have another breaking news that dates for JEE Mains 2021 have been announced. So everything that has been announced, we'll be talking about that as well. Okay, so and then once we are done discussing that, then we will do our analysis of the Unacademy Combat paper one. That is what we are looking to analyze today. Before we get started with this session, special session, let me introduce myself for those of you who don't know me yet. So my name is Rohit Dixit and I studied mechanical engineering from IIT Delhi. For almost past 8 years, I've been teaching physics for the IIT exam, mains and advanced. I myself, as a student, was All India rank 447 and All India rank 1 and 2 in the two stages of the IIT exams that I took. Now, I also qualified in DSC Stage 2, was in the top 1% in the NSCP, and I've already coached many students to top ranks in the JEE examinations. So far, all this was offline. All my teaching so far before this year had been offline, and now I hope to guide you guys online. So, how can you make sure that your studies are going uninterrupted in this lockdown, in this new situation? And in fact, you're not only carrying forward with your studies just the way you should have, but even better. So this is an opportunity that is being brought to you by Unacademy. You can get yourselves the Unacademy subscription. This subscription will give you benefits like live classes. You get to interact with your educators on a regular basis. Then you have live boards and leaderboards. And of course, you have test series and analysis sessions, and you have live doubt clearing sessions. So these features, trust me, will make sure that your preparation is not only going on track, but even better. Okay. So this subscription brings you amazing benefits. So some of these benefits were talked about earlier. And the biggest benefit that I feel is personally that you're getting access to India's best educators all across from the entire spectrum of educators all across India. Now you have the chance to study from them from the comfort and safety of your home. That is a wonderful feature. Hello ARJ, how are you? Now, to unlock all these features, the first step is to install the Unacademy app. By just doing that, you will be unlocking a lot of features which are available for free on the Unacademy app. You have free courses, you have free special classes, okay. Plus, you have quizzes. So all of those features can be unlocked just by installing this app. So you can, without even paying any money, you can get an experience of the Unacademy Plus. Okay. Trust me, these benefits will be a lot in themselves. Next, so if you decide to get yourself the subscription, this is how you do it. Go to the plus section of the app, select your goal as ITJ and click on the get subscription button. Now, when redirected to the payment page, don't forget to use the code RDLive to receive a 10% off on all your fees, be it for a plus subscription or an iconic one. Okay, so yes, hello Videbra Varun, how are you? Hi Nagendra Srinivas. Thank God I found a channel where they teach in English. Yes, absolutely. This is for all you guys who are more comfortable in English. So, sir, how to focus? Lol, dates were announced at 4:30, and I am still very overwhelmed and confused. So, yes, we'll be talking about that also. ARJ, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We will be taking that up. So now you can choose from two kinds of subscriptions, Plus or Iconic. And when you click on Proceed to Pay button, then you will have a lot of no-cost EMI options also to make these payments, which will reduce the burden of this payment. Okay. So Iconic subscription is something new, so I need to tell you a bit about this. So this is a subscription which will take your JEE preparation to the next level. You will be assigned personal coaches, and you will be attending regular ITJEE workshops, receiving expert guidelines from time to time, have a study planner, and regular test analysis sessions. So with all these features, you will get a closer personal mentorship and will definitely help you better. So Nagendra says, sir, will they teach everything in English here? Yes, absolutely, Nagendra. So if you notice the name of the channel, that's JEE English, right? This is Unacademy's gift to all you students who are finding it difficult to study on YouTube because of the extensive usage of Hindi. No, I do know Hindi. I do know Hindi very well. In fact, Hindi is my mother tongue. But don't worry. On this channel, we make sure that the only language that is being used in our teaching is English only, because we realize that a lot of content is already available in Hindi, but there is not much content, or there are not many teachers who are teaching purely in English, right? So to help students who struggle with Hindi, you've got Unacademy has got you this present. Okay, so don't worry about it. On this channel, everything is being taught completely in English only, so you will not face that language barrier in your understanding. Absolutely no worries. So again, you can win yourselves the Unacademy subscriptions, by the way, by taking part in the next Unacademy Combat, just like the one that we'll be analyzing today. So next Unacademy Combat is scheduled to happen on the 20th of December, where you can enroll now with the code RD Live. Do well in that and win yourself some really cool rewards and prizes, which include a up to 1 year subscription of Unacademy completely free of cost, and other very cool prizes. Okay. Yes, I know, I know. A lot of students have that, and that is why Unacademy started this channel, by the way. So it's surprising that you came to know about this recently. The channel was started some 4 or 5 months back. Okay, all right. So, but spread the word, spread the word. Let others also get the benefit of this. Okay. Now, those of you who are following us on the JEE English channel of YouTube can connect with us on the Telegram app using this link, so that you're receiving all the notifications of all the sessions and amazing lectures that are happening here on this channel. All right, so yes, coming back to the breaking news. So dates of JEE Mains 2021 have been announced. Just in case you did not know this, let's talk about this. So this is a notification that came out from the NTA. So the first thing, very important thing, is that online submission of the form dates have been announced. So the online submission starts today, and the last date to fill your application form. Yes, absolutely. Please do that. Let more students benefit like this, right? But it's surprising that you did not get to know about this earlier. So that means previously people have not been sharing enough. At least now you do the good work. Okay. So that is a very important thing. You can apply online for the February JEE, and the dates are from 5th of December, 15th of December, and the last date of application is for 15th of Jan. Okay. Yes, absolutely. I will be coming to that. D-Day is near, sir. What should we are planning? Kindly make a short video on that. Yes, absolutely, AP. I think that's a good idea. Maybe I'll just plan such a session very soon. All right. So please remember this, very important. Your dates of applications are from 15th of December till 1st of Jan 2021. So make sure you are filling out those application forms timely and not missing out on the February attempt. So I would advise, say, since the NTA is giving you the opportunity to take up to 4 attempts, so definitely take all the attempts. Why? Because see, only the best score will be chosen, right? So only the best score will be chosen. So you might want to practice, get the practice of that exam, as well as if by chance something goes wrong, then you can remove that mistake also. So make sure you're filling out this and taking the Feb attempt. Now the last date of successful transaction of the prescribed application fees is going to be 16th. So by 16th, you should have paid your fees, exam fees. Okay, and the exam fees is going to be as follows. So the fee payable for the JEE Mains 2021 are as follows. So for BTech papers, the fees are as follows. Again, for general category, the fees for Indian students is 650, and for fees outside India is 3,000. For female candidates is 325. Male candidates SC/ST is 325. For female candidates SC/ST and PWD categories is 325, and for transgender students it's also 325. Again, for the paper 1 for BTech and BArch and paper 2, the fees is going to be for general and OBC students, it's going to be 1,300 for male students, 650 for female students, and for SC/ST students, it's going to be 650 each, and for transgender students also. So make sure you are filling out this form as soon as possible, and you're paying that fees in time before the 16th. Okay. So ARJ says, sir, but where is the admit card? I searched the whole website and didn't find anything. So yes, you did not pay enough attention. So I will be telling you about that next. Now, please note that the processing charges and GST are also supposed to be paid by you on top of this. So this is the fees for the exam. In addition to that, you will also be needed to pay the GST charges. Now, here is the next thing, that the correction of particulars. So when you filled your form, if something you filled wrong, then you have a chance for filing for correction of the details you have filled in the form, and that opportunity will be given to you from 18th of Jan till 21st of Jan. So please remember, if by chance you make a mistake while filling your exam application, if you filled some wrong details, then you can realize you can edit that within this timeline of 18th of Jan to 21st of Jan. Okay. So all right. I don't think Nagendra that the issue is from my side. I think your net speed is too slow. Okay. Now, as ARJ was asking, how about the admit cards? So if you pay attention here, downloading the admit cards, you can download the admit cards from the NTA website in the first week of February. Okay, so admit cards can be downloaded in first week of February. ARJ, I hope that answers your query. You can't download the admit card right away. Okay, so admit cards would be available for download from the first week of February. Okay. Yeah. So the stream is running fine. I can watch. I'm watching my own stream. I think the problem might be with your net. Okay. Now the date of the examination for February attempt would be 22nd to 25th of February again. So these are the exam dates. The first attempt of February is going to happen from 22nd till 25th. Okay. So 4 days there. Okay. So not admit card. So what are you asking about? Where is the admit card? As I said, ARJ, you will be able to download the admit card from first week of Feb. Admit cards would be released in first week of February. Here, pay attention to this. This is downloading the admit cards. Admit cards would be available on the NTA website from the first week of February. Okay. Next, the date of examinations. I hope you guys mark this in your calendars. The dates of the examinations are going to be 22nd to 25th of February. Okay. Now, the exam timing. So, the exam, like usual, is going to happen in two shifts. Okay. As it usually happens, there will be a morning shift and there will be an evening shift. The timings for the morning shift are going to be from 9 a.m. to 12 a.m. So, 3 hour paper, you know this. The morning shift would be from 9 a.m. to 12 a.m. and the evening shift would be from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Okay. So again, two shifts of 3 hours each. Or I got confused between admit and application. Okay, all right. So okay. So I think getting a good percentile now will not be as easy as students might have used time well, unless all of them assumed it would be a 0 year low. So trust me, RJ, you're not the only one. I think a majority of students have been rather laid back in this lockdown period, hoping that the exams will get postponed and we will get more time, we will get more attempts. So don't worry. The chances of getting a good percentile are still fine. Okay, they are as good as ever. Okay, trust me. A lot of students that I have spoken to have been very laid back. They were hoping that the exams would get postponed. So a lot of people will now get serious once the result dates have been announced. So don't worry, RJ, you're not the only one in that boat. Okay, so you will find a lot of companions there who were laid back till now and who will suddenly start to panic now. Okay, so that's about the timings and the date of the exams. JEE in Feb, board exams in April, EAMCET is in May, summer RIP. Yes, so that was bound to happen in any case, right? If your COVID situation was not there, if the lockdown was not there, then in Jan you would have had this mains. In March you would have had your boards. So yes, this year is particularly difficult for students. Class 12 is a difficult time. Yes, you are faced with so many competitive exams, one after the other. So that was always going to happen. I hope you were prepared for that, Nagendra. Okay. Now the display of question paper attempted by the candidates. Please note that your answer sheets would be displayed also. Okay, the answer that you have marked would be displayed for inviting any challenges. Okay, and the date for that has not been announced. But whenever that happens, keep track of that because a lot of times, a lot of questions happen like that the keys are wrong, and after the official keys are released, you can challenge them. Next, the declaration of result. Again, the dates, it says, will be announced by NTA in due course of time. So for now, let's focus on the important dates. So first of all, important date is this. Online submission dates are from 15th of December till 1st of Jan. So ARJ, if you can't find the link, that's probably because they haven't activated the link yet. So wait for a couple of days. Maybe the link for filling out the application form should be available in a couple of days. Okay, you realize so many people would be rushing. So I guess, I don't know. Sometimes these links are not activated in time, and sometimes they crash also because of the amount of rush. Okay, next, the last date for uh, paying your application fee is 16th. So make sure you fill out your form so before the 15th of Jan, and you have paid the fees before the 16th of Jan. Now the fees have been shown to you. Now also, if you by chance filled out any information wrong in your form, then you can correct that from 18th of Jan to the 21st of Jan. So you have been given 4 days to correct any particulars that you filled out wrong. Then you can download the admit cards from the first week of February. Okay, so very important dates. Please mark all these dates in your calendars. Okay. Next, the exam dates, of course, are going to be from 22nd to 25th of Feb. And the shift timings are going to be 9 to 12 for the morning shift, and 3 to 6 for the evening shift. Okay, so ARJ says mains in Feb, March, April, May, BitSat in June, likely. Advance in June. Yeah, June or July probably. Yes, June should be, yeah. ACET in April, MET in April, May, boards in March, starting to regret every decision that I took. Okay, so don't worry, but you realize you are at the brink of the D-Day. After this year, your life is going to be very relaxed. So this is a crucial time. Of course, I understand that you feel so much pressure because this is such a crucial time. And again, that is why I keep telling all my students, do not be lax about things. Do not be laid back. It is always better to be prepared for the worst. So good preparation, trust me, would have helped you in this situation. But in any case, now at least, instead of wasting any more time, please make sure that you are making the maximum out of the time left, and stop worrying about whatever time you have already wasted. Okay, whatever time is gone is gone. Worrying about that and stressing over that is not really going to help you. So now focus on what lies ahead. Don't look back. Okay, and good luck from my side. Mark all these dates in your calendars. Make sure you're not missing out on any of these important dates. All right. Now, with that, I hope if you have any questions regarding this notice, again, you can ask me. I will share or give you any clarifications if I can from whatever I have read about this. And otherwise, if there are no further questions, then we might want to move to our paper analysis then. Okay, again, take a look at all the important dates. The application forms can be filled between the 15th of December till 15th of Jan. The last date for paying the application fees is 16th of Jan. So make sure you are filling the forms in time, paying the fees in time. Fees have been marked here. Okay, various fees of various exams have been marked. Now, if you filled something wrong while filling up your application form, then you can correct the particulars of your application details from 18th Jan to 21st Jan. First of all, make sure you're not filling out anything wrong in the first place. By chance, if you still manage to do that, you can even correct that information from 18th to the 21st. Now, admit cards would be available in the first week of Feb. The exam dates are from 22nd Feb to 25th Feb. And the exams will be happening in two shifts: morning shift 9 to 12 and evening shift 3 to 6. Okay. All right. So now let's get started with the topic of today's discussion. So today we'll be talking about the analysis of the Unacademy JEE Combat paper that happened on I think it's been about a month this happened. So paper one of the Unacademy JEE Combat is what we will be discussing today. Okay, so there were three papers that were held on this date. So there was a paper for class 11 students, then there was a paper for class 12 students, and then there was a paper for droppers. So we'll be taking a look at every paper one by one. Okay. So let's first take a look at the paper that happened for our class 11 students. Okay. So that's the first paper that we are going to analyze, and this is the first question that was asked in this paper. Okay. So you take a look at this paper, try and give me your answer, and I'll be right back. Hi, Somil Garg, how are you? So I don't know how many of you participated in this, but now is your chance to take a look at the questions again and try your answers. Namaste to you as well. Okay, so be quick and I'll be right back. Okay, so that's a fairly simple question. Okay, the question says a person initially at a point minus 3 meters, 5 meters. Now he starts moving with a speed of 20 meters per second for 5 seconds in the direction of point 1, 2. Okay. Next, then he moves with a speed of 10 meter per second for another 5 seconds in the direction opposite to the point P equals minus 4, minus 3. Now, which of the following is incorrect? Please pay attention. You have been asked which of the following is incorrect. So, what do you think the answer is? Anybody have the answers? Quickly tell me. Anybody figured out the answer yet? What do you think will be the answer? So you'll have to use vectors here, okay? So I hope. Okay, so AP says D. All right. It turns out D is the correct answer. In fact, let's see how you would have solved this. So initial position, you know, is R naught. The initial position vector is minus 3 I cap plus 5 j cap. Now, for the first part of the motion, you've been told that the person moves with a speed of 20 meter per second for 5 seconds in the direction of the point 1, 2. So what is the direction of the velocity vector? V1 cap. If I had to find the unit vector of velocity 1, then that would have been 1 by root 10 times I cap plus j cap. Okay, I hope you guys know how to calculate the unit vectors. Okay, so the direction was in the direction of 1, 3. So the vector pointing in the direction of 1, 3 would have been I cap plus 3 j cap. The unit vector of that direction would have been over the magnitude of this vector, right? That would have been root 10. Now the v1 vector, because the speed is 20, so the speed is 20, so I can write the v1 vector. V1 vector would be 10 or 20 times this, right? 1 by root 10 times I cap plus j cap. So once I got my velocity vector is 2 root 10 I cap plus 3 j cap. Now you also know the time for which this guy moved. T1 was 5 seconds. So the displacement during this time interval, if I call that S1 vector would have been V1 vector times T. Okay, so that would have been 10 root 10 times I cap sorry, plus 3 j cap. Correct? Now, similarly, now I've been told, then he moves with a speed of 10 meter per second for another 5 seconds in a direction opposite to the vector pointing in the direction of this. So if the vector points opposite to this direction, then the new v2 cap, the unit vector for velocity 2, that would have been 1 by 5, 4 I cap plus 3 j cap, correct? This would have been the unit vector of my second velocity, right? Now, what have you been told? Now, the speed is 10 and the time is 5. So, V1, V2 vector, we could have written as vector would have been 10 times this unit vector. So that would have been 2 times 4 I cap plus j cap, and t again t2 were also 5 seconds. So the displacement by this velocity s2 vector, that would have been 5 times this. So 10 times 4 I cap plus j cap. Right. So I got the two displacements, and now let's see what the options are asking. So option A says the displacement in the first 5 seconds is 80 I cap minus 60 j cap. Okay, is that the option that we are getting? Displacement in the first one is this. In fact, this is incorrect, father. Displacement in the next 5 seconds is 30 I cap plus 30 j cap. This is correct. Okay. Next one says, okay, so let's see. There was, okay, so there was a typing mistake. I think. That is why we got the first one wrong. Uh-oh. So there is a typing mistake in the question, it seems. Okay, initial position was this, and he starts moving with the speed, the direction of this displacement of the person in the first 5 seconds. Just a sec. Let's see what that is. 4 comma minus. Okay. Okay. So hi Shiv. What is going on now? So we are analyzing the problem, the Unacademy Combat paper. The first paper that was held for Unacademy Combat. If you're taken that, we are analyzing the physics section for that. Okay. Now, what it says actually is the person which is initially at this point, he starts moving with the speed in the direction of point this with respect to this actually. So the direction was implied to be with respect to this. So that is why the unit vector here would have been actually R2 minus R1 vector. So I will realize that this was my initial position vector. The point in which the direction in which the motion is happening would be, so S cap is essentially minus 3 minus 1 I cap and plus 5 minus 3 j cap minus 2 j cap. That is the motion direction of motion. Okay. Okay. So that is the direction of motion for the first displacement. So it is 4 I cap plus here is 2. Now I know that velocity, the magnitude of the velocity was 20 and it moved for 100 for 5 seconds. So I know the magnitude of displacement was 20 times 5. So because of that, my S1 vector actually becomes 100 times minus 4 I cap plus j cap. That is what you have. Okay, so Shiv says, sir, what is the difference between gravity and gravitation force? Okay. So gravity is the gravitational force that Earth applies on all the objects. That is what we commonly call gravity. Gravitational force in general is the force of gravitational nature that any two masses can apply on each other. Okay, is that fine? Are you clear about that? So that's all right. That's all right. You can always take the next attempt for this. So that is what you will be getting your answers as. Let's see. Let's see. Hmm. Okay. So yes, the unit vector in fact would have been this 1 by 5. The displacement vector would have been this. So S1 vector in fact is coming out to be minus 80 I cap and plus 60 j cap. Okay, all right. So the displacement in the first 5 seconds is actually this, which is correct. 80 I cap minus 60 j cap. Okay, that again seems to be problem with the sign. Okay. Yeah, final minus initial. Minus sign here because you always take the displacement as final minus initial. This is the bottom. Okay. So this is the first displacement that you get. The second displacement that you're getting is in fact S2 is in fact 40 I cap plus 30 J cap. Correct. So that is also correct. Now the total displacement obviously would be the sum of these two. So total displacement S vector would be S1 plus S2 vector plus S2 vector, and how much will that be? If I add, then it would be 120 I cap minus 30 J cap. Okay. This option is also correct. Now I had to find the incorrect option. So the incorrect option obviously remains this only. The average velocity of the particle during the entire journey is 12 I cap plus 3 J cap. That is wrong. It would be average velocity. We know V average would have been the total displacement over time. So it would have been 12 I cap minus 3 J cap, not plus 3. So this is the wrong option. So this will be the answer, as this option is wrong. Right? So that was your first solution. Okay. I hope everybody followed this. Because we had to find the incorrect option. That is why the answer is D, because all the first 3 options are in fact correct. Okay, so pretty simple. Nothing much here. Now let's move on to the second question that was asked in the JEE Unacademy Combat. In case again, those of you who did not attempt it, then you have a chance of attempting this now. So here's your question. If on planet Pluto, you have a new unit system where the unit of force is 1 Tendulkar, and 1 Tendulkar is equal to 5 newtons, and the unit of acceleration is 1 Mahi. So that's, I'm sure, Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Okay, and 1 Mahi is 2 meter per second square, and the unit of time is UV, which is half a second. 1 UV is half a second. Then if the unit of energy on Pluto is 1 gale, then you have to find the value of 2 gales in joules. What will be the conversion, or what will be the relation between the unit 2 gale and joules? Okay, so give it a try. Let's see if you out. Okay, hurry up. So very simple. You have to use dimensional analysis in the solution. Okay, figure this out. So try using dimensional analysis, and this is an easy enough. Which is the best, MIT or IIT? So MIT, if you're referring to Massachusetts Institute of Technology, then definitely that is better. That has a global ranking. If you talk about global rankings, it is ranked way above IITs. All right. Okay, so AP says 5 joules. Let's see if that is the correct answer. So you have fundamental units, let's assume, are force, acceleration, and time. So I would want to find a relation between the dimensional units of energy. So let's assume that the dimensional formula of energy is some force time to the power A, and then you have acceleration, right? So acceleration to the power B and time to the power C. Okay. Now if I substitute all of these in terms of mass, length, and time that we know of, so energy is force into displacement. Energy has the same dimensions as that of work. The dimensions of energy would have been mass, length square per time square. Correct? I hope you guys remember this. that these would be the dimensions of energy, ml square t to the power minus 1. Similarly, the dimensions of force, what would those have been? M L t to the power minus 2, entire thing to the power a. Dimensions of acceleration would have been m to the power 0, L t to the power minus 2, whether it is meter per second square to the power b. And the dimensions of time, of course, are m0, L0, 1, power c. So assuming I want to represent energy in terms of force, acceleration, and your time. So let's see what I get. What's the dimensional formula that I'm getting? Okay, so I can say that this is equal to m to the power of a, and you have L to the power of a plus, then you have t to the power of minus 2a minus 2b plus c. Okay. Now comparing the coefficients, you get a equals 1, and from here you have b equals 1, and of course then c becomes plus 2. Correct? If you compare the coefficients, these are the values of a, b, and c that you will get. Okay, now so I can say that one gale would be equal to one Tendulkar to the power 1, okay, into one Mahi to the power 1 to one UV to the power 2. Correct? Okay, so can I say one gale equals, so one Tendulkar was 5 Newton, this becomes 5 into one Mahi was 2 meter per second square, so 2 into one UV was 1 by 2 whole square, and this would be in joules now, because now I am back to my SI units. Okay, so what I realize is that one gale, in fact, therefore I can write one gale was 5 by 2 newtons. Okay, so that makes 2 gales as 5 newtons. Okay. So Shiv says, but sir, in MIT there is no British teacher. No, I don't understand British English. Okay, so what? There is British teacher. No, there are American teachers. There are American teachers in MIT. And there are teachers from all sorts of areas, by the way, all sorts of regions. Not only British. There are American teachers mostly. You will find a lot of different teachers from different regions. So in any case, if you don't understand British English, okay, so I don't know what to do about that. So from here, of course, you have 2 gales equals 5 joules. Well done, guys. 5 joules was the correct answer. All right. Okay. Now moving forward, let's talk about the problem number 3 that was asked. Again, this problem says that rain is falling with a velocity of 10 meter per second at an angle of 37 degrees with the vertical. Now, man starts running such that rain appears to fall at an angle of 53 degrees with respect to vertical. Which of the following velocity or velocities of the man are or is or are not possible? Okay, so please pay attention. It says which of the following velocity or velocities of man are not possible. Okay, 5 meter per second. So speeds, it should be which of these following speeds is from India. Okay, you may have some teachers from India as well, but very unlikely. Most of the teachers would be American, definitely. So in any case, if that's such a problem, then you can decide to go to IITs. Then in IIT you will have all Indian teachers. Don't worry. Okay, in IITs there are all Indian teachers only. So let's try this one then. Let's see if you can figure this out. So what are the possible speeds which will make the angle of the rain to be 53 instead of the actual angle 37? Let's see. Okay. Which of the following velocities are not possible? That is what you have to find. Okay, think about this. Think about this. So let's hope if you guys can figure this out. What velocities are definitely not possible. Now you realize here that why are we talking about possibilities of speeds rather? Because actual direction of the man can be anything. Maybe he's moving like this down an incline. Maybe he's moving like this up an incline. So his velocities can be in any direction. Okay, so Shiv says 15 meter per second. Let's see if that is the correct answer. So unfortunately enough, no, that is not the correct answer. Shiv, अपना इंडिया बेस्ट है एब्सोल्युटली यार और क्या क्यों जाना है एमआईटी में ऐसे भी वर्ल्ड रैंकिंग कितनी भी बेटर हो बट यू रियलाइज फीस फीस जो है बहुत ज़्यादा है फीस जो है आपको करोड़ों में पड़ेगी इंजीनियरिंग करने की वहाँ से एमआईटी से इंडिया में आपका बहुत सस्ते में काम हो जाएगा 10 लाख से कम में निपट जाओगे सो द कॉस्ट ऑफ स्टडिंग अब्रॉड इज डेफिनेटली एटलीस्ट 20 टाइम्स cost that you will incur in India. Okay, slightly, yeah, around 20 times. So as Pandey says D, yes. So D is in fact the correct answer. So again, you can use your knowledge of vectors in this. So the easiest way of thinking about this is, so let's talk about this. So imagine rain is falling at a velocity of 10 with respect to the and with at an angle of 37 with respect to vertical. Okay, let's draw that. Let's have horizontal and a vertical. The actual velocity of rain is like this. Velocity of rain is at 37 degrees with the vertical. Okay. Now the apparent velocity, been told to you as 53. Apparent velocity should make an angle of 50. It could make an angle of 53 here, or it could have made an angle of 53 here. Okay. So imagine if this was the case, what you realize is that yes, D is in fact the correct answer. Let's see how you did that. So you can divide these two components. Okay, hmm. Let's take a look. So hi family home. Hi family home. How are you? Okay. So you realize from these two, either you add this kind of a velocity of man, or you add this kind of velocity of man. So let's see what are the two values that I'm getting. So that'll give me the range of the velocity of man possible, right? So if it was like this, if it was like this, then you would have realized that if I break this into components, so let's write VR vector. VR vector can be written as this was 10 to 10 cos and 10 sine. Let's write that as 10 minus 10 sine of 37 I cap minus of 10 cos 37 j cap. Okay. Yes, I think so. I think your ID is familiar. Family home. Okay, absolutely, Shiv. Okay, don't worry. I'm not leaving. I'm not going anywhere. Okay. So cos sine of 37 is 3 by 5. Okay, so 3 by 5 that would make this minus 6 I cap. And then you have cos of 37 that is 4 by 5. So that would make this minus 8 G cap. Okay. So if this is the velocity of man, you realize that this entire side would have been 6 plus v of man, and this would have been 8. So since the resultant velocity makes an angle of 53, so I can write for the resultant velocity triangle, this was 6 plus velocity of man was 8, and this was 53. So I can write that tan of 53 would be equal to 6 plus velocity of man over 8. Okay. Now, what does that tell me? Tan of 53, if you know, is 4 by 3. I'm getting 4 by 3 equals 6 plus velocity of man over 8. So from here, I'll get velocity of man equal to 32 minus 18 by. So what will that be? That'll be 12, 14, 14 by 3. Okay. So this is the velocity that a man can have. Hmm. And if he was moving in the opposite direction, imagine if he was moving in the opposite direction, then if this was the case, then this would have been 6 minus v, and this would have been 8 again. So in the second case scenario, the possibility is that 6 minus v minus 6 over 8 would have been equal to tan of 53. So from here, you would have gotten Vm equals 8 into, that would have been 4 by 3 again, plus 6. Velocity of man would have been 32 plus 18, so that would have been 50. The velocity of man should lie between this range. So if it lies between this range, then the angle should be less than 53. Okay. So you will realize velocity of man should lie between 14 by 3 and 50 by 3. That is why your answer is 20. Okay. All right. Now let's move on to the next problem then. The next problem is this. Yeah, here it is. So the next problem is this. This is again the fourth problem of the paper for class 11 students. So I think some of the problems are very, very simple, but some can be slightly tricky. Okay, so let's take a look at this. You've been told that the whole system is in equilibrium. Now the string connecting A and the pulley is cut. So this string is being cut, and before this, everything was in equilibrium. Then just after the cut, you have to find the accelerations of various blocks. So these are your options. Acceleration of B and C is this, acceleration of A is this, acceleration of B is this, and acceleration of C is this. Okay, let's see what the correct answer would be. Okay, first of all, option B, of course, you can rule out, right? So just after that string is cut, the acceleration of A would have been G. So that should be pretty straightforward to see. It cannot be A. Okay. Let's see if you can figure out which of the following options is in fact correct. All right, try this, people. Let's try this and then we'll see. Now, here, the important thing that you want to remember is one very important property of spring forces and a very important property of tension. That the spring forces can never change their values instantaneously. How about the tension force? The tension force can change its value instantaneously. Okay. I hope you remember that. All right, give it a try. See. So AP says C. Okay. Okay, let's see. Let's see if AP is correct. So let's first mark the forces before the string was cut. Okay. So let's take a look at this. Since the system was in equilibrium, so you've been told that the system was in equilibrium, right? So let's take a look at the FBDs of various parts. So here you realize the tension would have been 2m correct? Now, because of that, the spring force here would have been 2 mg. So the spring force here would have been 2 mg, right? So mg is the force due to gravity of this. For equilibrium of this, it would have felt a tension of 2 equals mg. And here, let's call this T1. This would have been equal to 2 mg. Now, if T2 is mg here, so this would have felt an upward force of T2 equals g, and its own force of gravity 4 mg. So the spring would be pushing it with a force of 3 mg. Correct. So these are the different forces that I would have seen just before the string was cut. Tension in the first string would have been 2 mg. Tension in this first spring would have been 2 mg again. The tension in the second spring would have been push of 3 mg. This would have pulled by 2 mg, and the tension in this would have been mg. Yes, AP is pretty quick, it seems. First, family home is also trying. Okay, so try. See, let's see if we figure this out. Hmm. Let's see. So family home says C. Okay, so everybody is agreeing with C. Okay. Now let's see if you cut this string, what will happen? If you cut this string, so immediately after cutting the what you need to remember is that spring force never adjusts instantaneously. Spring forces never change instantaneously. This is what you need to remember. And string forces, however, string force or tension. Let's simply write tension, however. Tension, however, changes instantaneously. So this is what you must have remembered solving this. The tension force can change instantaneously. So the moment you cut that, what would happen is that the tension here, T1, would have immediately gone down to 0. So just after cutting, you would have realized T1 would have become 0. If T1 becomes 0, then the only force on A would have been 2 mg downwards. So A would have accelerated down with an acceleration of g. This would have accelerated down with g, which makes this definitely wrong. Now, what about the other parts? What about the other parts? So you realize this spring would have still kept applying 2 mg force, so that does not change. How about this tension? This tension could have changed suddenly. So let's assume that this tension becomes T. Okay. So this force would not have changed. So this spring is still applying 2 mg on this. And let's say that there was some tension T dash here and tension T dash here, and this spring was again still pushing it with a 3 mg. Now B and C, because they are connected with a string, would either want to move together only. Okay, so let's see what happens now. For B, if I focus on B, what is the FBD of B looking like? The FBD of B is looking like this. It has a force of 2 mg upwards, right? It has a force of T dash downwards, and it has a force of its own weight, that is mg downwards. Right? These are the 10. These are the three forces that I would have seen acting on B. How about C then? Okay, how about C? So on C, I would have seen upward force of 3 mg, some T dash again above, and 4 mg downwards. So for C, I would have seen again. For C, I would have seen 4 mg acting downwards, 3 mg being the push force of the spring, which can never change instantaneously, and then some T dash upwards. Right? This is what I would have seen. Now, since A and B and C both are still tied to this string, right? Since they are still tied to this string, so they can only move with one common acceleration. Okay. So what will that common acceleration be? So you will realize when you try to find that, you will say that assuming that A is moving upward and B is also moving up, C is also moving upward. some acceleration A. So let's assume that both of them are moving upward with some acceleration A. Okay. So what can I say about A? I can say mg minus P1 B equal to A for B. Similarly, for C, I would have had the upward force would have been dash minus M. That would have been 4m times 4. If I added both of these together, I would have seen, okay, so A is in fact 0, okay, which is strange. Okay, so either, okay, so let me check. I think they, yeah, so they probably made a mistake. Hmm. Let's see. Okay, what I'm getting is A equals 0, which is strange. Did I something wrong somewhere? Weird. So there was 2 mg upwards. Net force would have been mg upwards minus T dash above going above A, and here the net force would have been T dash above and mg, and this was going above. So all right, that is slightly weird. Okay. Oh, oh, okay. Okay. So here I completely forgot about one thing, that this spring force would not be able to act because the entire spring will start slipping down. That was the thing. The entire spring would start to slip down, because of which it won't be able to apply any force, because this end of the string would have become slack. Okay, that string would have become slack. So this would have been the FPD. Yes, so would have been the FPD. Equation for the first one would have been like this, and the equation for the second one, in fact, would have been mg minus. Okay, this is what it would have been in dash. Now, when you added both of them, you got in 2m. Both of them would in fact be moving down with this expression. Okay, g over 5 would have been the answer. So A is the correct option, not C, in fact. Okay, not C. So either it was that. Okay. Now, but again, you will realize one more thing. One more thing. If both of them are moving downwards with this, let's try and find the value of this tension here. If I try to find this value of this tension here using this, what do I see is mg plus T dash equals MA. From here, I'm getting T dash equals minus T by G, T by 5 T. So I'm getting my tension as negative. So since tension cannot be negative, so this scenario cannot be correct. Okay, so this is what I would have gotten if I had negative tension, right? So since tension cannot be negative, so this answer is wrong, and T dash in fact would be 0. T dash would have to be 0. Okay. If I assume that both of them are moving together and the string is still tight, there were two scenarios, right? Either the string was still tight or the string would have become slack. If the string was still tight, then this would have been the acceleration, right? But if I check for that condition, if I find this acceleration, then I realize that corresponding to this acceleration, the tension is coming out to be negative, which is not possible. Okay. Yes, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Absolutely. So, see, the elongation in the string does not change, but what happens is as it slips, this end will become slack. This end becomes slack. What happens is that this end becomes slack. Okay. So you realize this would have been the answer. This would have been the answer if there could have been negative tension. But since negative tension is not possible, so now the tension would be 0, and this would be the correct answer. So if the tension T dash is 0, now the new FBDs would look like this. For this, you would have had mg, and for B and for C, you would have had the downward thing would have still applied a force, and you would have had 4 mg, and then you would have had an upward force of 3 mg. So this would have gone down with an acceleration of g downwards. This would have gone down with an acceleration of g by 4 downwards. So because B is moving faster, so the string would have become slack and tension T dash would have reduced to 0. But you also believe Unacademy Combat Physics was a little tough? Yes, of course, of course. These questions are tricky. So you realize the questions are tricky. They have made such a situation where the tension is coming out to be negative. So I completely agree with Noman. So the questions were definitely tricky, but that gives you good enough practice, no, for a competition. For a competition, uh, you see somebody might be giving it correctly. Okay, so the correct answer finally is C. Okay. So yes, this is one of the trickier cases where you need to check and recheck the situation. Okay. All right. So I hope but that clears it up. Now let's take a look at the question number 5. Okay, this was the final question for class 11 students. Okay. Let's see. So this says mass of each pulley is m. So interestingly, each pulley has been given a mass. Okay. Mass of each pulley is m, and all surfaces are smooth. The system is released from rest. Then which of the following statements is correct? Okay, so very interesting. Very interesting. Each of the pulley has mass m. So why don't you guys give this a try? Give this a try. Okay. So yes, this the previous one was a tricky problem. Noman, I agree. Yeah. All right. Let's see if you can do this. All surfaces are smooth, and you can assume all the strings are ideal. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's see. So anybody with their answers now? Let's see. See if anyone has answers. Oh, strange enough, I missed two questions here. So Rajesh says A. Okay, okay, let's see. Hmm. So let's try and analyze this situation. Okay. So let's mark tensions in various parts of the string. Now, if the string was ideal, you realize this is a single string. Okay, that goes from here and all the way here. So this is a single string. So it is if the tension here was T, as long as it's one string, the tension would be T, the tension would be T, the tension would be T, tension would here be T, and the tension would here also be T. Now, if you draw the FBDs of A, B, and C, so let's see how the FBD of A looks like. Okay, so I can say for A, I have 2T acting upwards and 1T acting downwards, and then Mg. So for A, I have net or T net T acting upwards and Mg acting downwards. Okay. Next for B, I have this is the FBD of A. For B, I will have again the same FBD. Okay, 2T acting up, 1T acting down. I'm getting the same FBD. 2T is the net force up and Mg is the net force down. And how about C? C, you will realize for the FBD of C, you have 2T acting upwards and Mg acting downwards. 2T acting upwards. Now, if I assume, okay, for Mahi is trying. So family home says D. Okay, Amod says A. AP says A. So I think the correct answer was in fact A, if I remember correctly. Okay, let's try and see. So first we will try to find the relation between the accelerations of A, B, and C. So let's assume for the sake of simplicity right now that because the FBDs look so similar, so if this guy goes with A1 down, then this guy also goes with A1. Yeah, I can say from the FBD only that their accelerations will have to be equal. And if these guys are going down, somebody has to move up so that the work done by tension is net as zero, right? Net work done by tension is zero. Now, if I write the equations, so by virtual work method, I can relate these accelerations, right? What do I get? What do I get? First of all, I get minus t times a1 minus t times a2 plus 2t times, this is a1 again, plus 2t times a2 equals 0. What you realize is from here that a1 equals a2 in fact. So all these masses would be moving with, okay, Oshoreshi. So do one shot series. So I'm taking a quick review series. In any case, for that we are taking maximum 2 sessions only. No, roughly 2 sessions we are taking instead of one shot. So one shot requires at least 3 to 4 hours. I don't know if for physics at least one shot session would require 3 to 4 hours. So what I'm doing is instead of taking a one shot of 3 hours, I am taking quick reviews, 2 sessions of 1.5 hour each. So consider that as your one shot only. No, okay, Oshorishi. Don't worry, that's not too different. Now, once I know this, I can write the equations and I can write that mg g minus t equals a1. So let's call that a1 equals a2 equals a. I can now write this, and I can also write 2t minus mg equals a again. Okay, so I all I need to do is multiply this by 2, then add it to the third one. So if I multiply the equation 1 by 2 and add it to equation number 2, then what am I getting? I'm getting mg equals 3ma. A I'm getting as g over 3. Okay. So let's look at the options. So 2g by 3, that is wrong. This is wrong. Now, why is this not correct? Why is this not correct? How is one shot more beneficial? It you require You realize that when you're sitting for one go for 3 hours, your efficiency would be smaller. Trust me. Instead of one 3 hour session, two 1.5 hour sessions would be better for you, Baba. You will be able to focus better. Okay, Osho Rishi, don't worry. We are covering all the topics in roughly 2 lectures of 1.5 hours each. Yes, it covers full also. So you'll having the entire topic covered in 2 lectures nonetheless. It's one and the same thing, Osho Rishi. Okay, it just sounds better in your head, trust me. Yes, I do that. I do that. I do that. I do mark the parts 1 and 2. Okay, for rotation, I took I think 3. For rotation, I took 3. But apart from that, for Newton's laws, I think I took only 2. For work power energy, I think I only took 2. For momentum, I only took 2. For gravitation, I only took 2. So I'm trying to wrap everything up in 2 sessions of 1.5 hour each. Alright, so acceleration of all is g by 3. However, this option is still not correct. Why? Acceleration is a vector quantity. Acceleration is not same. The magnitude is same, but the acceleration of one is negative. Okay, so this guy is actually moving up and these two are moving down. So you cannot say that acceleration of all three are equal. However, if you substitute this value in any of these equations, if you substitute this value over here, then you get t equals okay, so 2t equals mg plus ma, so that is mg taken common 1 plus 1 by 3, that is 4 by 3. So T is in fact 2 by 3 mg. Okay, that is the tension that you are getting. Okay. Start from. Array, you need revision. You don't need one shot. Why are you so stuck on the term? Why are you so stuck on the term? You need revision in short duration, right? So what I am doing is I'm taking the entire revision in 2 sessions of 1.5 hours each. That is it. That is it. There is an entire playlist that will be created for quick review series that I have taken for revision. You can watch those. Okay. So if you really like watching watching 3 hour lectures in one go, then what you can do is you can start watching the playlist from kinematics and play kinematics 1 and 2 in one go. Okay. Part 1 and part 2 in one go. Watch it for 3 hours if that makes you happy. Okay. It doesn't make much sense, Osho, for you to have a 3 hour session. So that's just tiring. You will lose focus. The revision I personally find is better if you take it in 2 sessions of 1.5 hours each instead of one session of 3 hours. It is less tiring for you also. Again, I cannot start the revision again. You will, however, find the playlist. I have asked the team to make a playlist, separate playlist for quick review sessions. So you can go through that playlist. Okay. All right. So here the correct answer is 2 mg by 3. All right. Now I just realized that there were 7 questions in the paper, and I took only 5 somehow by mistake, I think. So what we'll do is we are in any case running out of time a bit, so we will discuss the rest of the questions in the next class because this session already has been quite long. So we will take up the rest of the questions in the next class. Okay. So don't worry about it. So first 5 problems I've discussed. From 6 and 7, I missed that and I started the class 12 paper. So we will discuss the rest of the questions in the next class, which we can maybe plan someday tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Okay. So then we will finish the rest of the paper discussion. All right. That is it. Let's wrap it up for today. Okay. And let's discuss the rest of the problems in the next class. Okay. Now, before I leave you, let me remind you that you can get your Unacademy Plus subscriptions if you haven't gotten them already. Okay, and this is how you do it. You go to the Plus section of the app, you select your goal as IIT JEE, click on that Get Subscription button, and redirect it to the payment page. Use the code RDLive. Click on proceed to pay and select a no cost EMI option that suits you best, and then get any of those two subscriptions, Plus or Iconic. Okay. Now, Plus subscription, most of you guys know about. The Iconic subscription will just take your preparation of IIT JEE to the next level. You'll be assigned personal coaches. You'll be getting a lot of IIT JEE workshops, expert guidelines, study planner, and test analysis sessions. Again, with more personal guidance, you will definitely perform way better in your JEE exam. Now, the next Unacademy Combat battle is going to be happening live on 20th of December. You can enroll for that using the code RDLive and some cool prizes if you do well in that. Okay. Now, if you're following us on the JEE English channel, it's better that you connect with us on the Telegram app using this link so that you're getting all the notifications of all the lectures and sessions happening on this channel. You're getting timely notified. You're not missing out on any of those. You're watching all of them live. If you like today's video, then don't forget to press the like button and share it with as many people as you can. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to this channel, and don't forget to press that bell icon. Keep receiving timely notifications of all the sessions happening here. PDF of all the slides used in today's lecture will be available for download very soon if you're interested in that. Okay, and that is it from my side for today, guys. And this is where I would wrap up. The rest of the questions we will discuss. I will plan a session very soon, probably tomorrow or day after maximum. Within 2 days, we'll be discussing the rest of the questions, so you can join me back for that. Okay, today, I think we spend a lot of time on the news also. So in case you don't know the news, the JEE Main's dates have been announced. Okay, so go and find out the details which I have discussed in the first, I think, 15-20 minutes of this video. So if you missed that, you can watch that again and get all the information about the JEE Mains that is going to happen from 22nd of Feb to 25th of Feb. Okay, all the details of registration, all the exam dates, all the timings of the tests are given there. Right. So with that, I will take your leave, and let me remind you one last time that this is my code RDLive, which will give you a great 10% off on all your subscriptions. So I'll see you next with the discussion of rest of the questions. Till then, you guys take care, keep studying hard, and take care of yourselves. Bye bye.